It's getting close, the deadline to start promoting your event, and all this anxiety is rising up. All these questions running around your head. Are people going to come? And in my case, they do as well. I could be as prepared, or there could be so many things missing. And I'm still going to be thinking, are they really going to come? And instead of fearing success, which is what normally happens when I launch a product without an event, I feel anxiety on promoting something that's literally about getting people to your event and not getting my own people to my own event. Because doing marketing for ourselves, it's so much harder than doing it for clients. Speaking as a marketing coach, ex-marketing coach. No, still one. You never are. You never stop being one. Yeah, it's like I can't market my own business. I cannot. That's the thoughts that come through my head, and which is completely false because I know exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, how all of the W's of marketing. I know exactly what to do. Yet, anxiety cripples me into procrastination, into seeing the deadline because I see it in my head. The deadline. I see Monday and I'm like, oh, shoot. It's just so close. And there's so many hours in the day. And I'm not alone. But I am also alone in a sense while I'm doing my tasks. And I'm half owner of this event. And I have all the same fears you do. Are the butts in seats going to be there? Will we get all those butts in seats? Is it going to be as fun and as spectacular as people think it's going to be? Because we're two fun people joining together to do something fun. Or, it's going to fall flat in the face again. And I say again because my last summit about virtual events was not as successful as the one about chatbots. And I know because, I know why. I know the balls that I dropped that had to break, and I could not catch them back at any point because I was doing it all alone. But now that I have a team, it's so much more peaceful in the middle of the chaos. Because events are going to be chaos. Because humans are chaotic. They are chaotic. We are chaotic. To prove my point, we just went through a whole panini. And there are countries and cities in the world that are completely free. And then there are others that are completely in lockdown still. And it makes no sense that it is for our own good, But it's just crazy chaos. So, yeah. All those fears are valid. And what happens is that, and sometimes if we fixate, not sometimes, always when we fixate on the fears, on what could go wrong, what happens is that we attract that. So in order to shift that, we need to change those feelings and thoughts and emotions. They start at the thought level. So we change our thoughts, then we change our feelings, then we change our actions. So we have to become aware of those thoughts that are coming up. They're bubbling up and they're not letting you take action and do what you need to do or be who you need to be. Depending on the case, sometimes we have to be, sometimes we have to do. We cannot always be on be and we cannot always be on do. That's why everybody's like, look for balance. And we all know that that's a lie. But that's another podcast for another day. So I'm going to tell you a story about, because it's getting close, about one of my birthdays on where nobody showed up. And it was on a Sunday and I was inviting everybody to a bar and only my best friend at the time, Allison, and my mother and her best friend from high school and my grandma were there. And that's not to say that it was a failed birthday, but I was young. I had a lot of friends. And because it was a Sunday afternoon, everyone freaking canceled. And that was me being stubborn, wanting to celebrate it on the day off and not doing it the day before, which is what I should have done. But sometimes we just have to do things the way we want them and let things be. And honestly, that was not the worst birthday ever. But it was very, very disappointing having everybody not, at least they sent me a message saying they were not going to come because they know me. If you don't tell me what's going on, you better just stop being my friend. Like, yeah. Don't stand me up. So, that was not like the saddest part, right? That's a social event. Sometimes things like that happen. When it comes to your business and building a event or a virtual event, you know, there's so much noise. There's so many events going on. There's so much stuff going on. And at the same time, we're distracted by social media. We're distracted by our social life. We're distracted by our family life. We're distracted by everything. And that happens also to your audience. And we have to think about that when we are creating our own experience, our own irresistible experience online, because everybody's getting distracted and they have all these things that are pulling them towards a direction. And in order to be on top of mind and on their calendars and on the important list or the important list, whatever, wherever you want to call it, right? If they're not in your priority, in your priority, let me rephrase that. If you are not in their priority list, then what's going to happen is that they're going to forget. And sometimes they deliberately don't do it and ignore you if they know you personally, or they genuinely can't, or they want to but forgot. It happens. I had a call scheduled out of my normal hours and it was not in my calendar and I totally forgot this week. And I never forget my calls. So it happens to all of us. So I want to give you some grace with that, okay? So if we understand this and we do the first thing that I said, which is instead of focusing on what could go wrong, we do that. We get a list of the things that can go wrong and what are the plans to fixing it. And then we create a plan to fix it. Once that is done, we put that on the side and we don't pull up that list and we don't pull up that problem solving sheet until something goes wrong. We cross that bridge when we get to it, basically. So once we do that, we're going to put that on the side and focus on what could go right and how much fun you're going to have and the transformation you're going to create. If you know me, you know that I care and I actually give a beep about every single person that crosses my path and about every single person that I help with their business, because it's not about their business. It's about the people they are impacting. So it's about a ripple effect. So I see the big picture and I wear my heart in my sleeve. And it's not because I'm saying this, because you can see it on how much free content I give away, how much tips and all that. And I want to just acknowledge that part of me, so you understand where I'm coming from. I genuinely want you to be able to have all those butts in your seats for your event. So when we focus on what can go right and when we focus on the fun and the transformation, the procrastination is going to leave and you're going to get inspiration and creativity. And that's going to be felt throughout the whole process. The energy is going to change and people are going to feel it in your marketing and in your publicity. So make sure that you make that list of things that can go wrong. That is healthy. That is okay. Because we're always going to go there. So instead of trying to ignore it, why don't we freaking address it? Address it. What can go wrong? Okay, so the lights can go off. Everything could crash. All the technology can crash. And what are you going to do about it? Make a plan for it. Are you going to buy a generator? Are you going to get a Wi-Fi wireless hotspot? Are you going to find some chargeable with rechargeable batteries LED light? Right? Like, make a plan. You don't have to be that doomsday prepared, but it is always at the level of how much you have to plan for a plan B and feel peace of mind. Okay? Once we have that and you decide the energy that you're going to put into all of the tasks that you have to do. There's a lot of tasks, a lot of things that have to do that have to get done before you start promoting your event. So having all those ducks aligned can help you ease those thoughts. Because when all it's done and you can share without worry that's gonna work and everything, then you can focus on serving. You can focus on the transformation that you're going to create for your audience. Now, the other thing that you can do to ease those thoughts that come up while you're planning an event is that you hire a team. You hire people to help you do the things that you don't need to be learning to do, like website building, graphic design, video editing, audio editing, captions, Zoom production. Like when you are hosting an event, for example, and you're on Zoom and it's live, right? In Zoom, because you can pre-record on Zoom as well. But when you're live and you have people come in and you are creating this experience on Zoom, you have to have someone that knows how to use the tool to help you there. So you don't have to be doing that. And you focus on your genius, which is speaking on your virtual stage, which is teaching, which is coaching, whatever you're doing in the event, right? If you're singing, if you're being the MC, whatever your role is, you are focused on your role and you have people focused on their roles. This will give you peace of mind. So for example, when you're running a Zoom and you have panelists or you have speakers, make sure that you're using the highlight feature. It's so simple. Pin and highlight. When people are talking, when you have a panel, you put them on a highlighted. So when you highlight it, it forces the view of everybody to see those people being highlighted. And that, my friend, will keep your mind at ease and your anxiety on check, because people are going to be watching what you want them to watch. Remember that there are 5 senses that we need to connect to through our experiences online. This is part of my Irresistible Virtual Events formula. The 5 senses, if you don't know them, I'm going to tell you. It's the sight, the smell, the taste, the hearing, and the touch. Okay, now you might be asking me like, hello, Anna, or you can call me Ana Andrea. How are you going to connect through all the 5 senses when we're virtually, right? Because we cannot hug people, we cannot touch them. So the touch sense is not being used. Yes, it is. It is being used. They're touching the computer. They are touching their mugs, their water bottles, their pens, their papers. So what do? You talk about what they're touching so they can feel it. That is one example, right? So what we do with the 5 senses and connecting through each of them, you can go to irresistiblemarketinglab.com and download the workbook that has this formula and has the questions that you need to ask yourself when you are planning an event and when you're producing and hosting an event. Your team can help you with this, with some of the aspects, like what I was talking about, right? I went on a tangent there, but I'm coming back around. The Zoom production and then putting you on highlight with the other speakers, with the other panelists, with your co-host, with the MC, with somebody that's asking a question. What that does, it's that it goes through their eye gate, everybody's eye gate, their eyesight. So sight, one of the senses. And you get to use that tool, that feature in the tool, to create that experience of the eyesight. That's how you connect with people. Not just by the videos or the graphics or the slides that you show or your face, but other people's faces. So if they're on the view of speaker instead or gallery and you put people on highlight, what's going to happen is that the view of everybody's going to change. And that creates an experience. If you were watching on gallery the event, then it's no longer on gallery, it's on highlight mode. And that way you create a more fun experience, a more engaging experience, more than fun, engaging. And I say fun because I love to see people's faces and their environments. I adore the fact that we get to see into other people's homes and other people's environments, because I get to know them more and they get to know me more. Or the fun Zoom backgrounds, of course. Now, having a team is going to give you peace of mind when they know how to do their jobs, right? So make sure that you hire the right team. And if you need a team, slide in my DMs. Go to Irresistible Latina on Instagram and slide on my DMs, and we can book a call so that I can help you create your irresistible virtual event. So I hope that this was of value to you, and I hope that this helps you ease your mind, because it has helped me. This was not going to be a podcast, and it turned out to be one. And I'm grateful that I kept talking to myself on audio and it turned into really good value because I can share it with you. Those are my inner thoughts. We are less than 7 days away from promoting our next event, Butts in Seats. So yeah, all these thoughts are coming up, and it's normal, and you can register. Not yet. The link is not live yet. So I mean, it is live, but don't go there yet because you can't register right now. I mean, it is connected, but you won't get the emails and all that stuff. It's not being done yet. So this is May 17. I'm recording this and uploading it at the same time. So I was not planning on uploading a podcast today, but here we are, spontaneously doing it so I can help you ease your mind and have an irresistible virtual event. If you need any help, you know what to do. Have a wonderful day, and remember to go follow me on Instagram, Irresistible Latina. I will see you in the next one. God bless you.